Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name is Ellis and I'll be your host for today's 1950s quiz. There's 50 questions, so do the best you can and let us know in the comments how many you scored. Here's question 1. What was the relationship between North Korea and South Korea in 1950? It was one country, South invaded North, or North invaded South? And the answer is North Korea invaded South Korea. 2. Which of these television shows premiered in 1951 on the CBS network? About Faces, The Queen's Messenger, or I Love Lucy? The answer is I Love Lucy. 3. What rebellion began in Kenya as an effort to break free from the British rule over the country in 1951? The Mau Mau Rebellion, the Freedom Fighters, or the Kenyan Revolution? And the answer is the Mau Mau Rebellion. 4. What did Robert Noyce and Jack Kilby co-invent in 1958? The bikini, the atomic clock, or the microchip? The answer is the microchip. 5. Where was the atomic clock invented in 1955? America, England, or Asia? The answer is England. Question 6. What was uranium successfully converted into, opening many doors to nuclear technology? Polonium, plutonium, or radium? The answer is plutonium. 7. Who released the song To Each His Own in 1950? Ink Spots, the Ames Brothers, or the Andrews Sisters? The answer is Ink Spots. Question 8. Which children's amusement park was built in 1950 by the Oakland Lake Merritt Breakfast Club? SeaWorld, Six Flags Magic Mountain, or Children's Fairyland? The answer is Children's Fairyland. 9. Who became the 34th President of the United States in 1953? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, or Dwight D. Eisenhower? The answer is Dwight D. Eisenhower. Question 10. What handheld device was introduced by Zenith that enabled a person to change channels on television from the comfort of their chair? Lazybones corded remotes, infrared TV remotes, or Easy Frankie collapsible stick selectors? And the answer is Lazybones corded remotes. 11. Who warned the world that a nuclear war would lead to mutual destruction in 1950? Albert Einstein, J. Robert Oppenheimer, or Eugene Wigner? The answer is Albert Einstein. 12. What point of immigration into the United States officially closed in 1954? New Orleans Port, New York Harbour, or Ellis Island? And it's Ellis Island. Question 13. What was Roger Bannister credited with in 1954? The first man to do a 24-hour run, the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes, or the first man to win the London Marathon? And the answer is the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes. 14. Who replaced Joseph Stalin as the leader of the USSR after he died in 1953? Nikita Khrushchev, Boris Yeltsin, or Dmitry Medvedev? The answer is Nikita Khrushchev. 15. What was the first James Bond novel by British author Ian Fleming, released in 1953? Live and Let Die, Casino Royale, or Goldfinger? The answer is Casino Royale. 16. What popular children's television show premiered in 1955? Batman, The Simpsons, or The Mickey Mouse Club? The answer is The Mickey Mouse Club. 17. What treaty of friendship was signed by the Soviet Union and 7 of its satellite countries in 1955? Sino-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact, Sikorsky-Maysky Agreement, or the Warsaw Pact? And the answer is the Warsaw Pact. 18. Where was Rosa Parks arrested after refusing to give up her bus seat in 1955? Texas, Alabama, or Florida? Well, Rosa Parks was arrested in Alabama. The answer is Alabama. 19. What chain of restaurants was started by Ray Kroc in 1955? Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or McDonald's? And the answer is McDonald's. Question 20. What did Albert Sabin create to replace the Salk vaccine in 1956? Oral polio vaccine, toxoid vaccine, or viral vector vaccine? The answer is oral polio vaccine. 21. Which spacecraft did the USSR successfully launch into space in 1957? Sputnik 1, Sputnik 2, or both? The answer is both, Sputnik 1 and Sputnik 2. 22. What was at its peak in 1957? Research in space travel, the baby boom, or the Industrial Revolution? What was at its peak in 1957? The answer is the baby boom. Question 23. Who released the 1955 hit Rock Around the Clock? The Coasters, the Penguins, or Bill Haley and his Comets? The Coasters, the Penguins, or Bill Haley and his Comets? The answer is Bill Haley and his Comets. 24. Who coined the term rock and roll in the early 50s? Elvis Presley, Ray Charles, or DJ Alan Freed? Who coined the term rock and roll? The answer is DJ Alan Freed. Question 25. Which country became independent from Italian rule in 1952? Somalia, Eritrea, or Libya? The answer is Libya. We're halfway through now. Here's question 26. Which royal family member of the United Kingdom passed away in 1952? Queen Elizabeth I, King George VI, or King Charles VII? The answer is King George VI. 27. What was the name of the first hydrogen bomb that was successfully detonated by the United States in 1952? Narrator, Cardio, or Alabama? All in capitals on those answers. And the answer is Narrator. 28. With whom was Sir Edmund Hillary accompanied when they became the first people to successfully climb to the top of Mount Everest? Timothy Richards, Tenzing Norgay, or Leslie Adams? The answer is Tenzing Norgay. 29. What phrase did the United States add to their paper currency in 1955? Novus Ordo Seclorum, Annuit Siopatis, or In God We Trust? And the answer is In God We Trust. 30. What did Francis Crick and James Watson reveal in 1953? The first ever Chevrolet Bel Air, the double helix DNA model, or the Kenback 1 personal computer? The answer is the double helix DNA model. 31. Which Caribbean island named itself as a self-governing Commonwealth of the United States in 1952? Jamaica, Cuba, or Puerto Rico? The answer is Puerto Rico. 32. Which comedy-driven magazine had its first issue published in 1952? Cracked, The Harvard Lampoon, or Mad? The answer is Mad, M-A-D. 33. Who escorted the 9 African-American students enrolling at Little Rock Central High School after being met with resistance? The school's principal, federal troops, or the mayor? The answer is federal troops. 34. Who were the creators of the famous children's toy, the hula hoop, in 1958? Wham-O, American Flyer, or Applause Toy Company? The answer is whammo. Question 35. In what year did the Great Chinese Famine begin? 1950, 54 or 58? 1950, 1954 or 1958? The answer is 1958. Well done if you got that one. Here's 36. What did NASA introduce in 1959? The first astronauts, the first man-made satellite, or the first spacecraft? The answer is the first astronauts. Question 37. What seaway was completed in Canada and the United States in 1959? The Great Lakes System, St. Lawrence Seaway, or Port Colborne? The answer is St. Lawrence Seaway. Question 38. Where was the first computer modem invented in 1958? Japan, the United States, or Germany? Where was the first computer modem invented in 1958? The answer is the United States. Apologies for fluffing up the question there, hope you still managed to follow. 39. What was Elvis Presley's first hit song released in 1956? Blue Suede Shoes, Just Because, or Heartbreak Hotel? The answer is Heartbreak Hotel. 40. What animated movie about two dogs was released in 1955? Mustang and Sally, Snoopy Meet Droopy, or Lady and the Tramp? And the answer, of course, is Lady and the Tramp. 41. Which country in Southeast Asia gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1957? Malaysia, Timor-Leste, or Laos? And the answer is Malaysia. 42. Which artist released Memories Are Made of This in 1956? Ray Charles, The Penguins, or Dean Martin? The answer is Dean Martin. Question 43. Who starred in the 1959 romantic comedy Some Like It Hot? Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, or Elizabeth Taylor? And the answer is Marilyn Monroe. 44. Which act became law in the US allowing the mass construction of thousands of interstate highways? The Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, the Aided Construction Highway Act of 1952, or the Interstate Highway Act of 1955? And the answer is the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. 45. Who invented the first heart-lung machine in the 50s? J. Andre Thomas, Gordon Gould, or Richard Kinnear? The answer is J. Andre Thomas. 5 questions left. 46. What group was formed when West Germany and 5 other countries signed the Treaty of Rome? The United Nations, NATO, or the European Economic Community? The answer is the European Economic Community. 47. What animated fantasy film of 1 hour and 15 minutes was released by Disney in 1950? The Lion King, Cinderella, or Mickey Mouse Adventures? The answer is Cinderella. Question 48. What tech company released the first pocket-sized transistor radio in 1957? Sony, Philips, or Siemens? The answer is Sony. Question 49. Which American actress married Prince Rainier of Monaco in 1956? Marilyn Monroe, Grace Kelly, or Brigitte Bardot? And the answer is Grace Kelly. Question 50. In 1956, what initiated the Suez Crisis? Libya invaded Egypt, Egypt nationalised the Suez Canal, or Egypt's attack on the Suez Canal? The answer is Egypt nationalised the Suez Canal. Bonus question. What physical communication technology was invented in 1955 which is now widely used? Let us know the answer in the comments and let us know how many points you scored out of 50. Thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications on all of our upcoming videos. But in the meantime, there are plenty of quizzes for you to try, so hit any of these and get involved. My name's Ellis, I've been your host. Thanks a lot for playing today.